So today we have a juicy topic. We're talking about those albums people pretend to like. That's right, we're talking about fake posers. No, in reality, we're having a little fun. I like every album I'm going to talk about aside from one, which we'll get to, which I'm guilty of pretending to like. But there's so many albums out there and so many classics. I do the little bunny, the little quotation marks. No, hoppity hop. Because you're supposed to like them. The classics you're supposed to like. But then people just say they like them, but really, they're posing. They don't actually like it. They're doing it to fit in because someone would say something mean to them if they go against the grain. Or, just because they've heard one song and they thought, hey, that's pretty cool, I like the album. But in reality, they like the one song. So, let's start with a big one. Motorhead's Ace of Spades. That is right. Now, I like most of the albums I'm talking about, aside from one, which we'll get to. And I like this one quite a lot. I've ranked Motorhead's discography. It was one of the hardest discographies I've ever had to rank because they have like 22 albums. And they sound very fucking similar. But there's enough, great songs here and there to differentiate. Ace of Spades is one of the best. And it's a classic for a reason. But I feel like this is one of the albums that people pretend to like. People pretend to love Ace of Spades. Because when you talk about Motorhead, a lot of people haven't really listened to the full discography. They've only listened to maybe Ace of Spades, maybe Overkill, maybe Bomber at a stretch. I don't know, Iron Fist maybe. But when you actually talk to people about Motorhead, they know Ace of Spades. It's the first song that pops up. It's the first one that comes into people's heads. And obviously, the album of the same name is going to be the first one which comes in. Comes in hot. But when you actually talk to them, do they actually love it, or are they just saying it because it's the easiest one to come into the memory? It's the big fucking single, It's the big one. Are they just saying it for those reasons? So this is an album where I feel like people pretend to love it. Say, oh yeah, my favourite Motorhead album, Ace of Spades. Because they're not really thinking about the rest of the discography, And then the rest of the songs on the album, like We Are the Road Crew might be my favourite song on the album. We Are the Road Crew. They have lots of good songs on here as well. Oh, what's the one? Fucking Shoot You in the Back. Shoot You in the Back. That's a great song. Live to Win. There's a lot of good songs on Ace of Spades. As well as the title track, even though it's overplayed on the radio, and it was in the Young Ones, which is where I first heard Motorhead, which is crazy. Great show. But there is a lot of other good songs on there, so I feel like this is one of the albums people pretend to like because A, it's a classic, B, they've only heard Ace of Spades, and it's the first one that pops into the memory, or C, they're a poser. So yeah. Now, I'm not saying it's bad to say you love it, because if you do love it, then hell, I think it's a great bloody album. It's not my favourite. My favourite is Another Perfect Day. I like the more melodicism in that album, even though some people say it's not quite Motorhead. I don't give a fuck. But anyway, I love that one the best. But this is still high up there in the top 3, maybe? Overkill's second. But anyway, enough rambling about Motorhead, let's get on to the next pick. So what have we got down here for the next one? Ooh, Rain in Blood by Slayer. Slayer! Now this is one of those picks where, again, it's a classic. It's a very short album, so it's not hard to listen to. It's very short and concise, and each song is to the point. But it's one of those albums that everyone just throws out. Oh yeah, Rain in Blood. Love it. The best. It's the greatest. And again, I'm thinking the same as Ace of Spades. Have they only heard Angel of Death and Rain in Blood? Raining Blood. Off Rain in Blood. Have they only heard those 2 songs? Because there's a lot of other good songs on there. Postmortem is fantastic. Necrophobic might be my favourite song on there. I love that song. And it spawned the black and death metal band Necrophobic, which I also love. There's a lot of good songs on Rain in Blood, and it's a short affair, so it is easy to love, and there's probably a lot of people that do love it. I think it's a fantastic album. I do. I absolutely love it. It's not my favourite, again. My favourite Slayer album is probably either Hell Awaits or Show No Mercy. But Rain in Blood is up there. It's in the top 3 again, and I feel like people do love this album, but there's a lot of people who just say it because they've only heard Angel of Death, they've only heard Raining Blood, maybe on TV, maybe on the radio, And that's about it. And because it seems cool, they're like screaming Slayer, and they only listen to the singles, they only know maybe like World Painted Blood, Jihad, and then these fucking songs. And that's about it. They don't know anything else. So it's just the first thing that comes to the mind, like Ace of Spades. So that is another album I feel like people pretend to love. Now let's get in with one where I'm guilty of, okay? I am guilty of this one. Obscura by Gorguts. This is the album I don't really like. And I pretended to like it. So I'm guilty of this one. It was top of my ranking even though I was trying to like it. You know, it's one of the ones where I was trying to like, it's so complicated, it's so jazzy, it's so technical, it's just a barrage of sounds, and it's popular in that kind of like, if you don't like it, you're a pleb. You know, it's kind of like in that Tool mindset of, you have to like it if you're musically intellectual. And I thought, oh yeah, no, I gotta like it. I have to like all this random noises in this album, but I really don't. I don't. So I'm guilty of this one. You know, I love Rain and Blood and Ace of Spades, but Obscura, I just can't. I feel like Coloured Sands does it a million times better, more cohesive. But this isn't just me slamming Obscura. I feel like other people would be in the same boat, because it's often hailed as a technical masterpiece. It's often hailed as one of the best experimental avant-garde death metal albums ever. So some people would jump on the bandwagon like me, and I'm stupid Questy. Yeah, it's got to be the best. You know, it's the most chaotic, it's the craziest, it's got to be the best. Where in reality, you know, Considered Dead, just a nicer album. Coloured Sand, Erosion of Sanity, you know, some of these albums are just better, in my opinion. So this is a personal pick for me, and I'm going to get some hate for this one because it is a classic, but that's what this video is about. Next up, we have Paranoid by Black Sabbath. This is an easy one. The metal album to rule all metal albums is Sabbath, the most metal band ever. It has Paranoid, Iron Man, War Pigs. Come on, how can you not like it? But just like the Ace of Spades comparison, what about the other songs? Fairies Wear Boots, you know, Planet Caravan, Hand of Doom. These songs are fantastic. This album is a great album. But just like Ace of Spades, it's not my favourite. I feel like Sabotage, Ozzy sounds better in. I like the songs in Sabotage. Symptom of the Universe, Megalomania. Ooh, come on. Sabbath Bloody Sabbath is just more experimental and just, I don't know, a bit more groovy than this album. And Master of Reality, ooh, just has that doomy atmosphere, which I love more. Sweet Leaf, come on. But this album is still great. It is still a great album. So people who love this album, you know, my hat's off to you. But there's a lot of people who just say, oh, Black Sabbath, yeah, Paranoid, that's the best. Yeah, I love Paranoid. I love it. It's like, when have you sat down and listened to that album in full? Like, when have you done that? Because I guarantee there's so many people out there who say they love Paranoid, but they only know 2 songs. They only know 3 songs from the album. They don't know the rest of it. They don't sit and spin it. They don't really love it. So that's why it's on this list. And I have one more for you guys, and that is Venom's Black Metal. Or Welcome to Hell. I'm going to go with black metal on this one. They are the granddaddies of black metal. They coined the term. They are literally black metal. You know, they are black metal. They created it. But a lot of people will say they love it just for the fact they created black metal. Because it sounds nothing like black metal. Even Bathory, it sounds nothing like most of Bathory's albums. Yeah, the debut, it can kind of sound like the debut, but the debu's a bit more, I don't know, the vocals are just a lot different in Bathory's debut. And I like black metal. I heard Venom play black metal in full, which was fucking awesome. You know, I even love Teacher's Pet. I think that's a great song. Some people don't like that song, but I think it's a great song. But people who say they love it, I can't see it. I can't see it. This is one of the ones I feel like people are just saying it because of the influence, because of the status, because of how legendary that album is, and because of how legendary the band is. And I think it's a great album, but I think Welcome to Hell might be a little bit better. It's just because black metal coined the term that people say that they love it, and in reality, I reckon they love hundreds of other black metal albums and stuff more. But it's good to respect it. You know, it's good to respect your elders. And I still think it's a great album. Do I love it? No. But I think it's a great album. So there you go. Those are some albums to get me in some hot shit where I think people pretend to love. Let me know what you think of each album down below. Do you love each one? I enjoy most of them aside from Obscura. What is your favourite album from each of the bands I mentioned? And tell me also down below, what albums do you feel like people pretend to love? You know, this is not me slamming people. This is just me thinking about... This is me thinking about people that need to say the truth, you know, don't be shackled down by other people's opinions. You know, someone thinks something's the best, you don't have to go along and agree with them. Be your own person, individualism. You know, just because black metal by Venom created the genre, you have to respect it, you have to love it. No, you don't, you can bloody hate it. It's up to you. So that's what this video is about. So let me know down below, and we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.